Hi there, my name is Sarah and this is Sarah Yoga. Welcome. Today we have a sequence for when you feel overwhelmed. So whether you're in physical pain or mental stress, or you just have a lot going on in your world right now and you need to slow down and you need to take some time and ground and release that overwhelming feeling of everything that might be going on for you. So we're gonna jump right in and we're gonna start on our back. So as always, you don't need anything fancy here. You might even just do this in your PJs. So let's grab our mat and we'll get started. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're gonna start right on our back. And almost like you're coming into a Shavasana, let yourself get nice and long. Lay down, let the arms flap open. Let your body release here. And just giving yourself a mental scan from the bottoms of the feet all the way up to the knees, to the hips and the belly. Moving through to the solar plexus, the ribs, the lungs. Traveling all the way up to the throat, the jaw, the face. And starting to notice your breath. So you don't have to change anything. Just noticing the inhales, noticing the exhales. Starting to notice maybe if you have an overactive mind, if you do have a lot going on. And so just giving yourself a moment here before we move into some movement to release your body. Sort of surrender just to the moment and just to the practice. One more inhale here. We have a friend that joined us, little Nala, trying to help calm that overwhelming feeling. And then we're just going to start to kind of wiggle out the fingers, wiggle out the toes. Take a nice big breath and maybe a fake yawn. Arms go up and over. And so really giving yourself permission to move slower. We're going to bend the knees and roll off to either side and make our way right around and up into all fours. So as you come up, plant your hands, tuck your toes, moving through some really slow cat-cows. Inhale, rolling open. Exhale, rounding. Starting to come back into that breath, so almost like nothing else matters here, right? The most important thing is your own sanity, right? The health of your body and your mind. And if you like, you can wiggle out through the hips a bit, rolling out any tight areas, any tension. Maybe roll out through the shoulders. Okay, roll out through the head. Let's take this into a downward dog. We'll come up. So feel the length here, feel the strength of the body. This is great
a great inversion to really release the head below the heart, kind of signal the body to go more into that parasympathetic nervous system. And then when you're ready, we're just going to come down. And as you come down, step the right foot forward. And let's rise up into Anjaneyasana. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. And then exhale, hands come together right at the heart. And we'll pause here. Really letting that breath pour into your heart center. You can even bring both hands over the heart and actually feel the expansion of the chest. Let's take one more inhale here. And then exhale, release. We're gonna come down and step that right knee back. And we'll do a very soft back bend, so letting the hips come down for like a lazy upward dog. And then just take the heart open, maybe tilt the chin up, little bend in your elbows. And then we'll take it up and back into child's pose. Knees wide, the big toes together, sinking it down. And remembering that this particular practice, we're not trying necessarily to get like a strong workout. We're trying to relieve the stress or the overwhelming feeling that might be going on for you. Remembering there's always support. Nothing is ever permanent. And so really feeling the ground here underneath you, letting the head soften. And then we'll take our time, we're going to come back up, and we'll come up through a downward facing dog. Take yourself up and back, feel that stretch again. Lengthening out. And so you might feel the inner thighs kind of roll back, you might feel the inner arms get longer, or right, you might let go of the technicality of some of this today and just focus on your breath and the sensation of the stretch in the body. And again, sending the head below the heart, a little inversion here. Let's take one more inhale. And then exhale, we're going to return back down to the knees. Step the left foot forward. And we'll rise up into that same Anjaneyasana or low lunge on the left side. The arms are going to go up. And then hands come right back to the heart. So you might keep your hands here. You might actually place one hand on top of the other and feel the ribs expanding, opening up through the heart. Let me just close the eyes, softening the jaw. And then exhale, release. Take yourself back with that left knee. And we'll make our way back into that soft back bend, letting the hips drop down, little bend in your elbows, or maybe that chin goes up. And then exhale, let's go back into child's pose, knees wide. Big toes together, forehead comes down. Really using this shape to allow the forehead and the brain, the thoughts, the mind to be grounded. And then you might take your forehead here and really slowly start to rock, like you're massaging out that third eye center in between the brows, smoothing it out, rocking back and forth. And then we'll come back to center and rise back up. Take a downward dog here one last time. Lengthening through the heels, lengthening through the arms. And so this time we're going to come right from our downward dog into a high lunge. So we're going to step the right foot forward and just line up the heels of your hands with the back edge of your heel and start to sink the knee over the ankle and pull the right hip back. Take a nice big breath in, and then on your exhale we're going to climb up onto our finger pads and start to lengthen through this front leg, letting your head drop down. So another forward fold, getting a stretch into the back of the calf and the back of the hamstring, and then really just letting your neck release here, the jaw, the face. And then on your next inhale, bend the front knee, drop your back knee, and we'll come right into a pigeon pose on the right side. So walk the heel over to the left, let that right knee come down. Flex the right toes, maybe slide your left knee back. Take a breath in, rolling open, and then start to make your way down any level here, any degree. And we'll sink into the pigeon on the right side. And again, coming back to your breath. Using this time to observe the body, the mind. And then whenever you're ready, we'll start to make our way out of this right side. So take your time walking that left knee in, send the right knee back, maybe a couple circles in the hips, roll it out. And we roll out through the shoulders, the head, the neck. If your jaw feels tight, you can let a breath go out of the mouth. And then gradually making our way back up into that downward facing dog. Feel that length through the back of your right leg. Maybe push into the hands here, just letting the head drop down. And one more breath in. It's like you're lengthening your skeletal system, the bones out from your center. And then exhale, we're going to step the left foot forward for that high lunge. Line up the heels of your hands with your left heel. Sink the knee right over the ankle. Reach your heart forward, the right heel back. Feel that nice big stretch. And then on your exhale, climb up onto your finger pads and let's fold, lengthening over this left leg, letting your head drop down. And so you might notice right away a difference between the right and the left side. And that again is just another observation here. I tend to be a little uneven sometimes, which is normal. So whatever you find here on this side, breathing into it and then just really letting the head release down. And then we'll start to bring that right knee down and we'll come right into our pigeon pose on the left side, walking your foot over to the right, letting that left knee drop down. You can work to flex your left toes just to protect the knee. You might slide your right knee back. And then finding some length first
Rolling right hip forward, left hip back. And then take your time at your own speed.
Coming down into your pigeon on the left side. And then come right into the breath. So sometimes a very tender space in the body, space that we often hold tension in the hips. Giving your body a chance to let some of that go here with the breath. And then take your time. We're going to come out of this just as we did the other side, nice and slow. We'll take the left knee back, a couple circles with the hips. Again, maybe you could roll out through the head, the shoulders. You can even take a couple of cat-cows here. Sometimes it's nice to fake a yawn. Or maybe it's a real yawn. And then we'll take one last downward dog. So we're going to come back up. Feel the length now through the back of that left leg. Feel the weight of the head drop down. And then let's come back down onto our knees and take a seat. Bringing now the bottoms of the feet together for one last hip opener here, Baddha Konasana. And we'll take it into a forward fold, lifting up. And then exhale to your degree, starting to fold up and over. Again, just letting your head drop down. And then we'll take our time like a rag doll and roll all the way up. Help your knees back together. And last pose, making our way, a couple of options. So if you have a wall close by, I'm going to suggest swinging the legs up the wall. If that's too much, you can always swing the back of your calves up and over a chair. And if none of those sound good to you, you can always just land in Shavasana on your back. So again, I'll suggest this legs up the wall because this is sort of like a natural way to calm the mind down. It's a great restorative inversion that helps to come more into that parasympathetic nervous system, the one that's responsible for resting, restoring, digesting. So we'll just take our last few moments here in either or any of those shapes. And if you get up towards the wall and the back of the legs are really tight, you can always move a little bit further away from the wall and put a soft bend in your knees. So most importantly, finding a shape that is comfortable to you. And you can linger in for a few moments here. So now just letting the practice settle, coming back to this observing state as you watch now the breath. Any effort that might be attached to the breath, release. Any last effort in the body, release.
And so if you have more time today, please feel free to stay in this shape for longer, maybe even 5 more minutes longer. If you do have to get on with your day, you're welcome to sort of come out of it and meet me in a final seat here. But I will leave you here whether you're choosing to stay, which I highly recommend. If you can, stay, linger for a little while longer. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this practice helped to calm down that nervous system, allowed you to get more grounded, and just noticing your body, right? Even if it's something super small, always be aware of any tiny change in the mind and in the body. So we'll end here. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I will see you next time on XSarah Yoga. Namaste.